Hi, Revere, and welcome to our Revere TV and Veterans Community Show. Today I have a special guest and a great guest. He's my Ward 2 counselor. Welcome, Ira Novoselsky.
Thank you, Morris. A pleasure being here.
Before we go into the questions, and I do have a whole load for you, my friend. You've been with the, let me make sure, you've been on the council 16 years and 27 years with the National Guard, so let me thank you for your service from a World War II veteran.
And thank you for yours.
Expand on what I just said.
Well, you know, I've had a long career, and I do a lot of longevity. I was also a basketball referee for 35 years. I did college basketball.
What college did you go to, if I may ask?
Oh, I went to Boston State, but I traveled all over the Northeast for basketball as a referee. And so that was 35 years, and then I worked for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts for 33 years. And I'm married for 44 years, I'm sorry. Don't kill me, honey. But,
to the same woman, right?
Yeah, to the same woman. Yep. So
I got 21 years on you and that, but that's good.
You know, I enjoy it, and I've had a good life. I got a couple of nice grandchildren, a wonderful son, daughter-in-law. A lot of good friends like you.
Thank you. And by the way, you and Al Terminello are co-partners on the Revere Veterans Committee.
We actually we started it, but now we also have Nick Boer as part of our team, and also Dennis Michella.
Right. So
we put the. I'm going to start talking. I know you're leading into the Veterans Day in Revere.
Right. We have the Veterans Day coming up, so since you are part of it and in charge of it, you would talk about it.
Well, you know, this is something 11 years ago. I always wanted to bring something on Veterans Day back to the city because it was missing for about 10 years. Revere didn't do anything for Veterans Day, and it bothered me. I would try and get some of the veteran groups to put something together, but the best I can do is put an ad in the paper with all the commanders and get a couple bucks a piece and put an ad in the journal. And then Al got involved with me, and he says, let's do something. Let's have a ceremony. So I said, fine, that's what I'm looking to do. I'm looking for some help. So 11 years ago, we put it together, and we started at the Beachmont VFW, and we're still at the Beachmont VFW. I think one year we didn't have it there. And we always have it on Veterans Day weekend, and this year it's November 8th, which is a Saturday night at the Beachmont VFW, as I just stated. It starts at 5 o'clock, and we do a little ceremony, and we honor our veterans. We bring members from the Chelsea Soldiers Home down for a meal, and if they can dance and they want to dance, we have dancing after the ceremony and after chow, Chinese buffet, and we have dancing to Alan LaBella, our DJ, our infamous DJ. And we all love him, and we're glad he puts that day away for us every single year. So it's a nice time. We honor the different veterans organizations, as I stated. And this year, as the host organization from Memorial Day, and we rotate that with Nick Boer, the Jewish War veterans will be honored this year because they were the host of Memorial Day this year. And that's what we did. And we give them a little citation, and I'm sure some of the politicians will be there, some of our elected officials will be there to help, join in the crowd.
I'm going to put you on the spot now because
sure.
I like to put the councilors on the spot.
And you're good at that.
Excellent at that. I went to the Columbus Day Parade, and Francisco Urena, who's the Commissioner of Veteran Affairs in Boston, was the marshal. Mm-hmm. I would like to see this year, where we're going to have the Columbus Day Parade in the city of Revere, that Nick Boer, who's also a veteran, Commissioner of the Veteran Affairs in Revere, to be our marshal this year. So I'm asking you if you can help us out on that. We would appreciate it.
I don't have a problem with it. I think it's a great idea, but it's up to the Columbus Day Committee to make it happen.
And since I don't know who they are, but you might know who they are, would you see that?
Well, I believe Nick is on the committee.
Well, he can abstain himself.
It would be, up to the mayor and Buddy Mangini and a few of the other guys.
All right, so Buddy, if you're listening to me out there, and you, Mayor Rizzo, who do a terrific job for the city of Revere, make sure that our own Revere Veterans Commissioner gets to be the marshal this year for the Revere Columbus Day Parade. Thank you.
That would be a great choice.
Yep, I think it would only be fair.
He does an outstanding job.
I agree with you. Yeah. That's why we want him to be
Yep.
Now I want to talk to you. You mentioned everything about the thing at the Beachmont VFW, but when I go in, I'm usually hungry, and I like to eat. Can you tell us what will be there? Mostly,
Well,
sometimes.
we have Chinese food. We've had that, for the last several years, and we get it from the China Dragon in East Boston.
Oh, is that where it comes? Oh, it
That's where it
doesn't
comes
come from
from, no.
China direct, because everything else we get.
Well, actually, it comes from Japan, but it's Chinese food.
It does really?
Yeah, it came from the Jewish synagogue down on Shirley Ave. They make it,
Okay. No, that's good to know.
You know.
That's good to know. So the food will really be kosher then.
Yeah.
Okay. Kosher pork, kosher.
There you go, yes.
Okay. By the way, you do a fabulous job as my counselor. I got to say that truly. When I need something, and not for me personally, but the people on Standish Road or the area surrounding Standish Road, you're always there for us. And what I like about you is you come down and you pull a surprise attack on us. Is there anything I can do for you on this? And that's nice of you. So.
Well, we tried, Morris, and I thank you for that.
And by the way, you did a beautiful job with the people of the Housing Authority on Shirley Avenue when they had that international festival.
Yep.
And since I wrote down some of the questions I like to ask you, is it Shirley or Shirley? Shirley Avenue.
You're not supposed to say Shirley, I jest.
Oh, are you?
No.
Okay.
No, but it is Shirley Avenue, and it's been like that for many, many moons.
Is there really? It's changed quite a lot since I moved in, I'll be honest with you.
It's changed a lot since I grew up.
Yep, 65 years ago when I used to go down there. So tell us about Shirley Avenue now.
Well, Shirley, I only know it from when I was born in 1947. But
You just
prior
gave
to
your
that,
age away, 67 years
it's
old. You
okay.
realize
Yeah,
that?
and I'm proud of it.
God bless
know.
you. I hope you live another 67.
Thank you. Well, Shirley Ave, many, many, many moons ago, was mostly Methodist. Before the 1920s, the synagogue in the corner of Shirley Ave and Nahant Ave was a Methodist church.
Oh.
So it's a National Historic Site. It could, it's not registered, but it could be because it was built in 1889, I believe, and then became a synagogue in 1912. So then when all the Jewish people came in, and then they had the big fire in Chelsea, and in the early 1920s, and that's when they built all the tenements off Shirley Ave on Highland Street and Thornton Street and Sumner Street. And so then it was mainly Jewish until the 1970s.
Then it became like a Korean.
And no, then the Cambodians came in,
right.
and and they made it their home for many years. And many folks are still there. We still have the Buddhist church on Thornton Street,
Right.
at 75 Thornton Street, and that's all Cambodian and Vietnamese. And that's the Asian community there.
Right. I go down Shirley every night. I see Spanish people. I see Muslim people from the Middle East. I shouldn't say Muslim. I see people from Syria, from Iran, even from Iraq.
We have a United Nations down in Shirley
Yep.
Ave, and everybody is just wonderful. Shirley Ave right now is in the best condition it's been, and I bet you 50 years. And all the stores are filled. There aren't any empty stores. And I remember the first time I ran for office in 1970, Shirley Ave was a disaster area. There were empty stores, boarded up places. And over the years, between myself and going back in the early 1970s, Lenny Ginsberg was there, and then Sid Dubchansky was there. And then I followed up after Sid Dubchansky for a couple of years, and then Kathy Penn came in, and Dickie Penn came in, and John Perez came in, and then I came back after John Perez, and I've been here ever since.
Right.
So that's the history.
I remember when you was running for councilor, I was across the street where the two drugstores are, I believe. It's Walnut Avenue.
Walnut Ave, yeah.
I had a little jukebox, and I was playing the music out there at that time with the...
You had the monkey with you?
No, I was the monkey. Okay. No, the monkey took care of me. The monkey was the one doing this,
Yeah.
and I was doing the dance. Okay.
But there was the Shirley Drug and Michelson's
Yep.
were at that corner, and then you had
Then
all
there
the
was Maya's
butcher stores.
Culture Kitchen
Yeah,
there?
the butcher, even before Myers.
There was someone
There
else
was
in there?
Essett not there, but where Myers was now, it was a single-family home. It was a doctor's office.
Right, and across the street, right off Walnut Place, right, a matter of fact, adjacent, Was the first National store that was there?
That was on Shirley Ave, where the parking lot is now.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. And then there were a bunch of stores at the corner of Walnut Ave where the park is, where Costa Park is. You had Harold's Delicatessen. You had Harold's Bakery. And then you had Mall's Butcher Store. Across the street, opposite Thornton Street, you had S&M Market, which was Sam and Myers, and then
Right.
they split up. So Sam kept his, and then Meyer moved to another spot, and then he bought the property down on Walden Street.
I got a sad story about Shirley Avenue. It might bring back memory to you. Where the bagel bin is now, there used to be a bar. And there was a gentleman there who was a friend of my son. Both are gone now. John Maragni. Does that ring a bell to you?
No. I only know who had it before was Howie Cronin, I believe.
Well, John got into a fight, and the guy took him outside and killed him. Literally.
Okay.
Yeah, and they caught the guy in Colorado.
Yeah.
Months
No, that was
later.
before my time.
Yep. So.
But
Barry
I
was-
think it was
Let's see.
Foley's. It was either Foley's or the Lighthouse
That I don't remember.
at that place. But it's right. It's the second part of the bagel bin. And
Right.
where the bagel bin has always been a restaurant.
Right.
Back in the old days, it was called Gordon's Restaurant. And
That's good.
so, anyway.
Okay, now we want to get into the sad part again. We lost the casino. Can you bring us up to speed on that?
Well, there's no speed to bring us up. It's gone. Right now, there's a lawsuit going on.
Right.
But we don't know where that's going to go between the city of Revere and
Suffolk Downs together.
and the employees at Suffolk Downs did it. So it's going to be heard in court someday. Who knows when it's going to be heard? There's a lot of allegations that were made. They have to be proven. But I have loved the casino in Suffolk Downs. Absolutely, I was one of its biggest supporters.
So am I, and I got to tell you why I felt good. Peter Schultz, I'm sure you know him. He worked very hard to try to get the casino on. The chief executive officer of Suffolk Downs,
Richie Fields or Chip Tuttle.
Chip Tuttle and
Yeah.
Richie Fields.
Yeah,
They worked very hard.
right.
But Chip Tuttle used to do things for the seniors all the years that I can remember that I lived there. Every Mother's Day, he would have a party for the Revere and his Boston mothers. Valentine's, Thanksgiving.
Right.
Those days are gone now because
Yeah,
we
it's
don't
going to
have the
close,
casino.
and we don't know what's going to happen next.
Right. So,
I honestly don't think you'll ever see it in Everett. I think they have too many drawbacks on it, and with the
might vote it
Monsanto, with
out
the
too.
contamination.
right,
What?
when they have the vote coming up.
You have the vote coming up, but there's two ways of looking at it. If you don't want the casino and want to, hurt everybody, then, you vote yes. But I believe I'm going to vote. I'm going to vote no on it, and the reason I'm doing it is because there's still going to be a pot of money coming to the city
That's good.
through the tracks, that they have right
Yep.
now between Plainville and Springfield and whatever comes in down the South Shore, and even if Everett, does go, there's a pot of money, a pool of money that's going to be fed back to the city in local aid. So there is a percentage coming back, and then there's another pool, a mitigation pool fund that's run by the Gaming Commission, and they anybody can apply for a grant from them to do something in the city.
Right, Ira, you mentioned the word fund, and that set off a light bulb in my little head. We had a tornado here, I believe, July 28th.
Yes, sir.
You could tell us if it affected your area any, but more important than that, Mayor Rizzo has a fund to help the people that were affected by it. And I wonder if you could help us out on that.
Well, there is a tornado fund that started right away, and some of the big players in the
Right.
community helped start it up. And I guess November 1st that they're having an event at 10 o'clock in the morning at Suffolk Downs, I believe.
That I don't know.
But there is a tornado fund fundraiser coming up.
Right,
in
and
the
if people
city.
want to mail money in, who did they make the check out to?
They make it out to the Revere Tornado
And they
Relief
can mail
Fund.
it to City Hall if they want
They
to?
can no. They mail. The best thing is to mail it to the People's Bank on Broadway. They have the account there.
Oh, they do?
Yes.
You have a computer with you?
No, I don't.
Okay, I was going to ask you to give us the address
Yeah,
of the
no,
People's
I
Bank.
know. It's right across from City Hall.
Okay, People's Bank of Revere,
People's
Broadway.
Bank, yeah.
Okay, that would be
So
good.
they have the account there, and then there's a committee that gets all the applications. All the applications have to be in already to apply for
For help.
funding. You know.
Did that affect your area in any
It
way?
did not. No, it
No,
did.
we
it
were
didn't.
lucky.
Yeah.
Even though I live on Standish Road, I do when I went home.
Yeah.
I would see trees and everything down. Once I got past the highway,
Yeah, right.
it was
From
like
Bell
a different
Circle.
world.
It stayed west of Bell Circle,
Right.
mostly.
Okay, since you are part of the city council and the people love what you do for the city, people, I'm talking to you about that. Tell us about the city services.
City services. Well, we got some great people working for us. Our fire department, best in the state. Our police department is outstanding. Two great chiefs, Chief Doherty for our fire department and Chief Caffarelli for our police department. And things have changed around, and nothing bad against the older people, but it's a new brand of people coming in, new feelings, new applications. They all do a great job. And our police department is understaffed, so we try to make the best of it. Then we have our Public Works Department, which is, as far as I'm concerned, the most decimated department in the whole city. As far as I'm concerned, also, is that I would consider them a piece of public safety. And, they have to keep our roads better, they have to keep our sidewalks good, they protect our sewer, our water, digging holes, and, they're out there for us.
Right. We honor the fire department and we honor the police department for the beautiful job they do to protect us both ways. But there's one department nobody ever honors, and I like to say they do a good job too, especially now at the year where we're getting close to the holidays, and I'm talking about the post office department that takes care of the mailman who comes around in the wintertime when the snow, rain, and sleet.
Well, that's not a city department, Morris.
It's federal.
That's
I know it's federal.
It's a private agency in the federal government.
Right,
Yeah.
but I mean, they come around and they help. They deliver the checks to the city. So if they didn't get the money,
Well,
we
people
wouldn't
don't do checks anymore. They do direct deposit. It,
they do?
it goes through the
Is
internet.
that something new? Okay. No, but I would like to
They
honor the
do.
post
They
office for the
do.
beautiful
Yeah, I have a
job
lot
they
of the
do.
post carriers are friends of mine, and they do a good
Yep.
job, and they're out in all kinds of weather.
Right, and when I was a kid, it was rain, snow, or sleet. Nothing
That's
keeps
right.
them away.
That's correct.
And they used to do it twice on a day when I was a kid to deliver the mail. Not once a day, but twice a day.
Well, weren't you around with the Pony Express?
I was the pony.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm always getting riding anyway. So that's it. Ira, where would you like the city go in the future? I know Mayor Dan Rizzo is doing a beautiful job. What are his future plans, if I may ask you, for
Well,
the city?
The future plan is to make the city the best it could be.
Well, we're
And
second to none right now. We just want to make it a little better than
we're
that.
the gateway to the North Shore. We tell everybody that.
It is.
And we try, people make a joke of it because Lynn says they're the gateway to the North Shore. Withrow says they're the gateway. We are the gateway to the North Shore because when you come out of Boston, the first city you hit is Revere. And things are happening in Revere. The economic development started. If people go down to Ocean Avenue, we got new apartments being built there, market rate apartments. As they move closer to the Wonderland station, you're going to have a hotel down there, you're going to have condos down there, you're going to have stores down there, and maybe an office building on one side of the Marquis Bridge. So there's a lot happening for economic development. And then there's the vacant pieces of land. There aren't many, but what we can get out of what we have is to bring in more economic development to establish a better business tax base. So our residential rate will go down.
Right, and we got one coming up, I think this weekend, or soon, the Market Basket. And I would like to take a minute to thank Arthur T. DeMoulas for getting the Market Basket open in the city of Revere. So Arthur T., thank you, and all the people now have jobs there.
And actually, you have to thank the people that work for Market Basket. They're in a call it, even though they're not real family, but they're family of workers that held out all those weeks.
Right.
to make this thing happen and for Arthur to get his job back. And it's wonderful. And we thank him for coming, making Revere the first one
Right.
to be opened under the new.
So why don't you
the new
take a
group.
minute and you look in the no, right here.
Oh, oh,
Right
that
here.
one.
And you thank Arthur T.
Well, I thank Arthur. You know, I'm sure I'll see you next Thursday. There's a ribbon cutting next week from Thursday, a week from today.
I thought it was Sunday.
The
this week.
30th. No, they were opening on Sunday,
Go ahead.
the 26th. And then there's an actual official ribbon cutting on October 30th. That's Thursday at 9 a.m.
So, on behalf of the city, you're welcome with open arms.
And we look forward to having them here for a long time to
What
come.
other businesses do you plan to bring into the city if you could get them, or you would like to see?
Well, we'd like to see a lot of stuff, but nothing specific right now. I know there's a new Big Lots that's opening up at Wonderland Plaza, the old Stop and Shop at Wonderland Plaza, down by the post office. There's a Big Lots going into there. I
You
don't
mean
know.
where Dollar Tree is?
No, down at Market, Wonderland Market,
Okay.
across from Wonderland, from the dog track.
Oh, okay, I know what you mean.
Where the big
Yep,
parking lot
yep.
is, and that the strip mall.
Where
is there.
Staples is.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. So they're moving in there. I
And what is
don't
Big
have
Lots
any
going to be
detail.
having for sale? Are they the ones with the tools and things?
They have some tools, but it's. I just hope it doesn't become a
Political?
building. A building 19. We don't want that. We want some
Oh.
decent kind of stuff. People say Big Lots has some decent buys there, so we'll see what happens with that.
That would be good.
And then of course you have Wonderland Dog Track. That's
Yeah,
been
what's going to
vacant.
happen with that if you could?
That's been vacant for many years. We don't know. We're looking for, a commercial. Could be biotech. It could be a sports stadium. It could, I really don't want to see any educational facility in there or medical facility because they don't pay taxes to the city.
Oh, they don't?
No.
Okay, that's
You
good to
usually
know.
have to work out what they call a pilot, a payment in lieu of taxes with them. So those aren't really the super best type of economic development you want to get in the city. But we're looking at things, and we got a great guy in City Hall working on it. Besides the mayor, John Fester, our
right.
Director of Economic Development,
Yep.
and I believe matter of fact, October 30th at 5 o'clock, and I believe it'll be on cable on Revere TV. There'll be an economic development meeting at City Hall where the mayor and John Fester are going to bring the city council up to date, and everything's been going on and what they have in line and what lined up, et cetera.
I have a question for you, Ira. Long before you became councilor, when I first moved in on Standish Road, which is 50 years ago, almost 48 to be exact, they were taking studies to put a culvert behind our land of Sales Creek. Many times the water comes on our land, and it's not good, clean water. It's actually, sometimes the water is, I don't want to use the word polluted, dirty water. When Mayor Haas was the mayor, he came down many a time because the keys to open up the gates on Bennington Street used to be in, outside the city of Revere, and he had to make a phone call to get the man to come down to open the gates. That does not happen anymore, does it?
No, we have that's the pumping station on
Right.
Bennington
That's
Street
right.
that we're
That's what I'm
talking
talking about.
and it's run by DCR actually. But we now have a key to it. We have a guy
The
that
city
can,
itself.
The city has a key besides them, so if there's anything that they can't get people together, in case the tide goes up high,
Right.
and there's a lot of water coming off the hill, it
Like
backs up
like
on.
we just had.
It backs up on, down the Garfield area and
Right.
Avalon Street and not Kimball, but Elliott Road. So, but that we have that under control. But the big thing down there is that culvert that you're talking about runs behind the Garfield School,
No, I'm
along
not-
the railroad
there,
tracks.
and the one behind Shaw's.
That
Sales
it's all tied together.
Oh,
It's all tied together.
okay.
So it goes all the way. Actually, that trench, a little culvert, goes from Revere Beach Station along the railroad tracks and follow inside the fence of the MBTA, goes down to the bridge that they just rebuilt, and then goes in behind your house along Standish Road by Porter Ave, where the new condos are down the end of the street, and it takes a right there. And periodically, the Northeast Mosquito Control Group goes in and they'll spray every year.
I know, we didn't have any mosquitoes at all this year.
They do spray there a couple times during the summer, especially when it gets real bad. And we've tried to dig it out periodically so the water can flow. I think maybe 7 or 8 years ago they started to do it behind the new condos there, and unfortunately they found the body down there. And
I remember that, the kid.
And the guys didn't want to dig back there anymore, so they haven't gone in there in a long time. But it's been on my agenda to talk to Northeast Mosquito Control to go in and start cleaning that out again and let the water flow better. And that goes out underneath North Shore Road, right at the Sunoco station.
Yep.
Right at the Sunoco station. Goes underneath the Revere Beach Parkway and then goes out through Suffolk Downs out to the Belle Isle Inlet. Right.
They said they were going to close it off, but I want to end it over here. We've got about 2.5 minutes, so take a minute to wrap it up, and then just give me a minute.
Well, you know, I'm glad you allowed me to come on here. It's a pleasure being with you. I enjoy it. We have a good time.
Right.
I try to give people information of what's going on.
I'm sure they got quite a bit of
things happen, and you know, I enjoy this. I love being a city councilor. I love retirement also. You know, so but it's great to be with you. You were the best choice to do this show. We talked about it.
Well, then you have to thank Mr. Bob Dunbar, because if it
well,
wasn't for
actually, we twisted his arm.
Did you really?
Yeah, because Nick Boer and I talked about it. We said, we need a veteran show. And we looked at each other and said, who's going to do it? And he and I both looking at each other and said, Morris. And I said, no, Norris. And he said, no, Morris. And I said, Norris. No, well, anyway.
Neither one did a good job.
But we came up to you, and we're glad you chose it.
I want to say God bless you, and thank you for
Morris.
coming up and taking the time.
My
with
pleasure.
us. I want to say God bless the people of Revere, but especially our service people that are overseas. God bless them all, our great country of the United States of America. And thank you all for listening. And you see the great guests we have on here? You can be one too by just calling 781-426-9498 and tell them you'd like to come on to Revere TV Veterans of Community. And you do not have to be a community military veteran, just a veteran of the community. And it'd be an honor to have you. And thank you all for listening.